Pop culture, whether it be famous actors, musicians, or athletes, has a way of ingraining memories into our brain that could last a lifetime. One mention of a song, a specific movie, or even a certain toy can ignite nostalgic thoughts in our minds that brings us back to our childhood. But what really goes on for some of these icons who provide us with these lifelong impressions in our memory bank long after their time in the spotlight? Many drift into obscurity, never to be heard from again, until a tragic event occurs in their life. With the creation of the internet and the rise in popularity of social media, many of these stars have resurfaced and piqued our interest once again. One question we always want to know is, what happened after they faded away from the spotlight, and what do they look like now? One WWF superstar who reached the peak of his career in the mid-1980s and resurfaced as the inception of shoot interviews became popular with fans is Billy Jack Haynes. Standing 6'3" and weighing over 250 pounds, Billy Jack had a superhero build and imposing look. At the height of his career, he wrestled in front of 93,000 fans against Hercules at WrestleMania 3. But that's not where his story in the public eye ends. In the last 2 decades, Billy Jack would appear in several shoot-style interviews, some of which he would talk about multiple conspiracy theories and even admit to being involved in unsolved murders. In February 2024, he was arrested for killing his own wife.
Okay, listen please. It's been 3 months. Now the tape was never played.
What time I have left on this earth, you're probably going to be looking at a dead man, 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 dead man.
Former professional wrestler and Portland local William Haynes Jr., known in the ring as Billy Jack Haynes, is headed to jail. He's accused of killing his wife, 84-year-old Jeanette Beecraft. Haynes was previously held at a local hospital where he was treated for injuries unrelated to the crime. He now faces charges of second-degree murder and unlawful use of a weapon.
Born William Albert Haynes on July 10, 1953 in Portland, Oregon. For most of Billy's younger years, he had a stable childhood, but a string of abuse by his mother's sister's husband would leave Billy with a deep dark secret at a young age. He started off training in boxing as early as 10 years old. At 15, he was 6'1", 175 pounds, and a light heavyweight with several amateur fights. But tragedy would soon strike, as his uncle, his father's brother, was in a fatal accident. 3 weeks later, his mom died as well. At that point in his life, he made a decision to look after his father and made him a priority for the rest of his life. After breaking his right hand in the boxing ring in 1977, it left him few options. He had already served 6 months in the army, but went AWOL when he found out his dad was sick and lost his eyesight to diabetes. Now working as a janitor, making $6 an hour, life wasn't the same. Billy was a lifelong wrestling fan. In early 1982, he went down to a Portland wrestling show to try and figure out how he was going to get his foot in the door. Although he did get the attention of promoter Don Owen, Don sent him to Calgary to train with Stu Hart. Billy took his last $200, filled his car up with gas, and drove to Calgary to chase his dream. He started training in Stu Hart's dungeon. According to CageMatch.net, his first recorded match was August 10, 1982 in Stampede Wrestling, and according to Billy, he was making around $25 a match. He would eventually become good friends with the Dynamite Kid, who took him under his wing. By fall of that year, he debuted in Portland Wrestling, immediately headlining cards and now making $1,000 to $1,500 a week. Simply known as Bill Haynes, he would later take on the moniker Billy Jack, and would later add his last name after legal threats by actor Tom Laughlin, who starred in the original Billy Jack movie. In 1983, he got married to female wrestler Jeannie Clark, who was also known as Lady Blossom, but they would split the following year. By 1984, feeling like his character was getting stale in the Pacific Northwest, he made his move to Florida Championship Wrestling, hoping to gain more experience, but more importantly to make more money. By November of that year, Billy would make his WWF debut against Jerry Valiant in Chicago, Illinois. After the match, Billy would get word from home that his dad had a stroke. Without hesitating, he immediately flew home to his dad and was fired by the WWF. In 1986, Billy won the Pacific Northwest heavyweight title from Bobby Jaggers, but behind the scenes, his appetite for Percocet and Vicodin was growing.
I said about a year ago I didn't know if I was going to retire or what. I've been training for 3 months, and I know you can hear me out there.